Cybersecurity firm Proofpoint recently unveiled its latest AI offerings at its Proofpoint Protect event in Nashville, Tennessee. I was on the ground and spoke to a number of executives about what they're seeing in the industry. And that includes Chris Kittner, Senior Manager of Threat Research, who shared more about the developments that she's monitoring. Let's take a look.
You know, I love that question because I joined having pivoted from tracking nation state to then focus on e-crime, and I was really curious to see what was it that I was going to notice. Will there be different trends? And what we've seen is a shift between traditional malware loaders and bots into the use of legitimate remote monitoring and management software. So these are software that you administrators need to use in computers, and it's playing on identity and the trust, and with the AI coming in, it's supercharging the speed at which these operations can be happening. So the AI is really scaling it up, and we're seeing a sophistication that maybe allows threat actors that don't know how to code to still conduct activities.
And how are these cyber criminal groups evolving their tactics to maximize impact?
We used to see a lot of social engineering by these groups that were just quick actions, let's get this done, urgent. And what we've noticed over time is that I love to talk, and it's no surprise that the threat actors have recognized that everyone likes to talk. They are building a rapport with people. They're going in for the long game and having these benign conversations to reel in their victims. And that allows for a longer dwell time in the environment or an account takeover, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. You have an interesting background, obviously with experience in military strategy and international relations. How do you translate complex threat actor research into proactive, data-driven defense strategies?
So my background is initially with the Missile Defense Agency. I did a lot of weapons analysis for DoD, and my interest shifted to cyber operations, looking at command and control. Having grown up in Brazil, moved to England, and then to the US, I was drawn to military strategy and learning how we can stop sort of terrorism activities, criminal activities. And it's no surprise that if you have data with you that explains the issue, people will listen. And so I like to leverage not just the data-driven, zeros and ones, but also take in consideration the context of geopolitical developments or regulatory frameworks or financial negotiations that are going on the world stage, because they play into what the threat actors are doing, and we see that in the numbers, in the shift from traditional loaders and botnets. Now we're using RMMs. We're able to scale that because of AI and what's happening in the world offering all those lures.
Yeah, and I see here that you've studied both state-sponsored activity and the broader distributed threat ecosystems, including China's cyber landscape. How is that perspective informing your current work at Proofpoint?
It's been fascinating to study China from a very young age. I started in college, and I've been lucky to be able to see the evolution of their cyber operations. What started as a very neat and tidy, you could map a threat actor and APT, evolved into a very well-established distributed system that's supported by regulatory controls within China and their own framework for vulnerability management.
And what does that tell you about what we can anticipate when it comes to future e-crime trends and the global implications?
The global campaigns that we're going to see are going to be more AI driven. What does that mean? They're going to be easier to launch. I could see agentic AI potentially doing a campaign without the need for any human operators. And with the exploiting trust in these trusted relationships and the uncertainty over identities with deep fakes, it's going to make for a really challenging landscape where attribution and understanding the mitigations and how we fix it will have to be understood and separated.
I want to end with a fun question.
Oh, good. I like that.
If AI could plan your next vacation, where would it be?
So I'm going to balk here and say that I would not have AI plan my vacation because I love the use of Gen AI. I use it on my daily workflow. I like to use it for the more time and toil consuming things. So I would plan my own vacation to, let's say, Japan and see all the unexplored places that I haven't been. I went there 2 years ago. But I would only use AI to then help make it seamless in terms of
the itinerary.
Reservations. Yes, but I would want to choose it.
Yeah.